Hey, Brennan here. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. All right, I got a different kind of show for you today. We're going to do a Devy mock draft. It is a 3-round Devy mock. Now, if you come across the channel and you're like, what is a Devy mock? Basically, Devy means developmental players. So if you play Dynasty football, you might really enjoy watching this draft because we're going to be drafting future rookies. That's what this show is all about, all right? We're going to be drafting 2026 rookies, 2027, 2028. That is what the term Devy, you may have heard it in the fantasy football space. It's simply meaning we're drafting college players today, and then once they're drafted, we put them in our dynasty roster. So we're going to draft them now, put them on our benches, and hope we get that draft capital and landing spot that we so desire for the players that are on our bench. So this is a great way to introduce you to future rookie classes. We're going to be drafting 2026 players, 2027 and 2028 players are already going to be drafted in the first 2 rounds. That's we get excited playing the Devy format, and it's what my NFL Draft Big Boards subscription service is all about. I got all the players that we're going to talk about today. We're going to do 3 rounds. I already have them drafted by class. I already got 2026 ranks for wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, so on and so forth for future rookie drafts. Got the 2027 class ranked, got the 2028 class ranked as well. So at the end of this video, we're down in the subscription or the the show notes here on the channel on this particular video, you'll see a website access where you can go find out information about that. But let's get right to the draft. All right. So here is the first round of the draft. All right. So I had the first selection. Now this draft was completed by my NFL Draft Big Board subscribers. So it is actually a 10-round draft. I'm only going to go through the first 3 rounds and go to that website. I will have the results posted on there that you can go if you're enjoying the content. If you play Devy and C2C, you're going to love this. But if you play Dynasty and this is your first kind of dabble into Devy, stick around. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly to kind of just show you what it is all about. The Devy and C2C guys, they know these players already, but trying to introduce this fun game of Devy if in fact you do play Dynasty. All right, let's get right through it. All right, Jeremiah Smith. I had the first selection, Ohio State wide receiver, 2027 draft eligible wide receiver. He is a stud. He is going to be the next Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to probably play more like Malik Neighbors. Though there is just no doubt that Jeremiah Smith is the first pick selected. So yeah, I'm going to have to wait 2 years to get him on my dynasty roster, but I think he's going to be worth the wait. Coming in at 102 was Ryan Williams, Alabama wide receiver, was a freshman this past season. He is also eligible in 2027 to be drafted for the NFL draft. Exciting player, really had some showcasing moments, some wow moments, catching the ball vertical downfield this year. So he is an ascending wide receiver that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Coming in the 3rd pick is Lenoir Sellers. All right, kind of surprised that this guy was the first quarterback taken. But hey, I'll tell you what, the guy balled out last year for South Carolina, that dual threat, big frame quarterback. You know, in Dynasty, especially if you play super flex, you got to love quarterbacks, right? So they go early and often. We're going to have a little run right here. As you can see on the screen, Arch Manning coming in at, he is eligible in 2026, but most likely he's going to be a 2027 prospect. He's going to play his first full year at Texas this year. He'll come back, play for his senior year, get more experience, but the kid looks great, not only throwing the ball, but running with his legs as well. DJ Lagway, another quarterback coming off the board with the 5th pick here, another 2027 prospect. All right, really had a good moment. Didn't play a whole lot his freshman year, but you know, coming this year, he is going to take the reins. He filled in for Mertz last year a little bit, but I think he is ascending as well. Going to be exciting with his legs, big arm, can throw the ball down the field. So we're all hoping in Florida he takes a big step this year forward. All right, with the 6th pick, Jeremiah Love, the first running back off the board at Notre Dame, seems to be the consensus RB1 of next year's class. You know, Nick Singleton, we're going to see his name here in the near future, but you know, he could be the RB1. I still think it's wide open who's going to be the actual RB1 of the class. All right, Bryce Underwood, our first 2028 prospect. It's kind of nuts, but that's what we do in Devy and C2C. All right, he's going to Michigan. Was originally supposed to go to LSU, I believe. Transferred, flipped, is going to Michigan now. Whether he starts as a freshman this year remains to be seen. But man, he is a exciting prospect. He is the QB1 coming out of high school this year. With the 8th pick in the first round, Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receivers. You really can't bet against Ohio State wide receivers. They typically hit. Jeremiah Smith is the wide receiver 1 in that room. Carnell Tate is wide receiver number 2. Expecting another productive year this year, playing in the shadows of Smith, but I'm sure they'll have some games where he is the wide receiver 1 on the team. All right, with the 9th pick in the first round, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU wide receiver. Probably heard his name if you are really into Dynasty and was early scouting this 2025 class. There were rumors that he could be coming out. Good decision to come back to school. He needs to get more playing time, get more experience before he heads to the NFL. But he good game manager type quarterback who I believe will be a top 5 quarterback in next year's draft without a doubt. All right, Dylan Raiola, Nebraska. He was a freshman last year. He is not eligible till 2027. Started his first year as a freshman. That does not happen with kids coming out of high school. Typically, 5-star prospect, was really highly recruited, had an up and down season, but his stock is rising. All right, Nicholas Singleton, good decision, I think, coming back. Aller and Katron Allen, all those guys are coming back, hopefully making another run at a championship next year. So we all know about Nick Singleton. He's going to be the RB2, 1, 2, or 3 of this class. I'm expecting him to have even more explosive plays in the 2025 upcoming season. Round out the first the first round of this draft, Cam Coleman was a freshman wide receiver who really popped last year. 6'3" wide receiver, had 598 yards and 8 TDs. That kind of production as a freshman in college in an SEC school makes you open your eyes. So again, he's not eligible till 2027. You can see the dates, by the position on the screen. So that rounds out first one. All right. Round 1 or the first pick in round 2, DeCorian Moore. Okay. He is a high school player. He will be a freshman this year at Oregon, 5'11". He is the wide receiver 1 of the class, explosive player heading to Oregon, going to be playing, with Evan Stewart this year, right? So it remains to be seen if he's going to get any kind of play this year as a true freshman, but he might get on the field, and let's hope he at least has 400 or 500 yards of production. All right. Jordan Tyson, one of my favorite wide receivers, selected number 2 here in the second round by Corey Pierre, one of my favorite analysts out there. Me and him both like Tyson a lot. Wide receiver, Arizona State, 2026. He will be a rookie next year that I believe is going to be a top 2 or 3 receiver in the class. Okay. Brian Wesco, 2027 wide receiver prospect, had a great freshman season last year at Clemson, comes in the 3rd pick in the second round. Nico Amela-Levia, I think that's how you say it. I'm terrible with last names. I apologize. Tennessee, a true sophomore. He's going to be a junior this year down at Tennessee. Kind of has that Jaden Daniels type frame, big, tall, skinny kind of kid, but can sling the ball all over the field. I think he is going to be an exciting prospect. He needs a big season to get into that top 5. He could come back for his senior year and not really come out till the draft till 2027. Another great wide receiver. Clemson is filling their wide receiver room. TJ Moore coming in here with the 5th pick by Brendan B. here. Great selection, good value here, middle of the second round. He is a stud, great receiver. Cade Klubnik has 2 really good receivers with Wesco and TJ Moore this year, passing the rock around, and he's got Antonio Williams that you'll be seeing me pick him later, as you can see on the draft right now, but we'll get there. Sam Levitt, quarterback, Arizona State. He will be draft eligible next year. Whether he comes out or not, I am not sure. But man, this guy can sling the rock all over the field as well. Jordan Tyson, him and Levitt are going to, I think, be a 1-2 punch down there and really have some serious production down there at Arizona State. Love that pick as well. Justice Haynes, Alabama running back, decides to hit the transfer portal, goes to Michigan. I love this move for him. Alabama running backs, it seems to go by committee now. He's going to go to Michigan. He's going to be the guy. He's going to get fed the rock. I love it. He's now going to be able to really showcase his skills. A lot of running backs just need to get the rock, 15, 18, 20 times a game to really establish themselves. So I'm excited for this guy. He's a talented player. He is not eligible until, he'll be eligible next year, 2026. He is a true junior. He could legitimately be the RB1 of the class. He was a very big high school recruit coming out of high school. With the 8th pick in the second round, Nate Frazier, good running back from Georgia. Love this kid. I got some films on this YouTube channel. Go check them out of this kid as well. He's not draft eligible till 2027, but man, that guy is, I think he's another guy that just needs to get fed the ball, give the guy an opportunity to get into a rhythm. Really good running back there for Georgia. Could he be the next big Georgia running back? It's been a while, I feel like, since we've gotten one on our dynasty rosters. All right, Drew Aller gets selected here in the 9th pick in the 2nd round. Penn State, glad to see him come back. He did progress in the 2024 season, but I think he needs even more experience. No rush to go to the NFL anymore for these kids. The more experience you get, the better. So again, I think he's going to come back and get more good film out there for us to watch. Good decision. I'm glad he came back. He will potentially be the QB1 of the class if he comes out and kills it this fall. All right, Evan Stewart came back. And this was another good decision, I think, by a kid who was a true junior last year that really needed more work. He's just never been that super productive wide receiver. I don't think he's had more than 680 yards in any season. So he'll be able to come back and be that day one guy, all right, to be one of the best wide receivers in that room. All right. Caden Durham, exciting, low center of gravity, smaller but thick, powerful running back from LSU. He's not draft eligible 2027. I got some films out as well of him I got films of a lot of these guys out on this YouTube channel. So I guess I really don't need to say that because I've been watching these players for the last 2 years and been making films for, highlight films and film breakdowns of a lot of these players. So go, if there's, someone you're interested in, go check out my channel, man. I am sure that I've got a film on them. All right, I'm going to round out the end of the 2nd round and start the 3rd because this is a snake draft. I'm sure you figured that out by now. But Antonio Williams, all right, I'm going to select him here with the end of the 2nd round. Love this kid. True slot receiver. Again, he's going to be playing with TJ Moore, Wesco. There's just, a lot of mouths to feed there, but this guy really rebounded after a poor 2023 season. Last year was great. I'm expecting him in his senior year to come in and put his name on the map and be one of the best receivers drafted next year. All right, I feel like I'm getting great value here at the top of the 3rd. I'm taking Ryan Wingo. He was a freshman last year that popped, but now we have Bond to the NFL. We've got Golden to the NFL. We got Arch Manning tossing him the ball. I feel like I'm stealing this guy down here at the beginning of the 3rd. Love this kid. I think he is going to be the wide receiver 1 right now on Texas and could have a monster season. Mekhi Hughes taken with the 2nd pick in the 3rd round, transfers from Toledo to Oregon. With Jordan James now off to the NFL, this kid is going to have the ability to, really, I think, come in and just be that guy. And really, he's an exciting player. If you've not watched Hughes, he should have a really, really good season at Oregon. They always have a good offensive line. Dante Moore coming in here with the 3rd pick in the 3rd round. I love this pick, man. This kid is ready to go. He started his career at UCLA 2 years ago, kind of faltered. Chip Kelly kicked him off they didn't kick him off the team. That's not right. I think he wanted to get out of there. Goes to Oregon, sits on the bench the whole year behind Dylan Gabriel last year. Now this is his time to shine. Love this selection here. He's draft eligible for next year, but he's more of a 2027 prospect. He's going to get at least 2 years in the NFL before going, or in college before going to the NFL. Darius Taylor, Minnesota running back, had 54 receptions this year. We love running backs who catch the ball out of the backfield. This guy was a workhorse for Michigan. Love this selection here. Could have another monster season. Keelan Russell, all right, another quarterback here, all right, 2028 prospect. This kid hasn't even played in college yet, but that's okay. That's what we do with these Devy drafts. We're throwing darts early, man, at these high school kids, hoping, we got to wait 3 years, but if you get a Jaden Daniels and you got to wait 3 years, it is worth the wait. So this kid's 6'3", 175 pounds. Actually looks like kind of Jaden Daniels watching him on the field. He's that taller, skinny guy. You look at him and you think, oh my God, how's he going to withstand the NFL? It remains to be seen, but it's going to be a fun ride nonetheless. Cade Klubnik here. Like this pick, man. He was a hot Devy prospect when he was a freshman, big recruit out of high school, really just kind of faltered. But last year he kind of put it all together again, right? You can't give up early. You can't give up forever on these quarterbacks, man. Sometimes they just take some time. They need time to develop and mature, and he's got a wide receiver room. There are no excuses for Cade Klubnik this year, man. This guy's got to go out and ball it right now. All right, Nick Marsh, exciting receiver, 2027 draft prospect. That would be a true junior. Really popped as a freshman for Michigan State this year. Love this selection. Really productive. And productive receivers early, their freshman year, always have a tendency to hit our dynasty rosters, right? So Julian Sayin, Okay, or quarterback. All right, Will Howard now won his national championship. He is off to the NFL. Julian Sain is the next guy up in the quarterback room at at Ohio State. So we're gonna have to see, because there's a you can see at the end of this draft too, with the last pick, Tavian St. Clair is an incoming freshman, but it's Sain's job as far as I'm concerned. He's going to start, I'm assuming, for the Ohio State Buckeyes this year. So again, we're going to take a shot that he develops and hits our dynasty roster in 2 years. Zachariah Branch played at USC for 2 seasons. He's off now to Georgia. Okay, so he's I love guys that go from other conferences to the SEC to play with the big boys. Love this for him. Let's see if he can put it all together. It's been a while since Ladd McConkey. Last year, there was the wide receiver room was kind of shitty, so it'd be really nice to see him again emerge as a great receiver for the Georgia Bulldogs. Eric Singleton Jr., love this selection as well. Really good all-around receiver who can win all over the field. Played first 2 years at Georgia Tech, now at Auburn, transfers to Auburn. He is draft eligible next year, but he may stay also for his senior year as well. So love this selection here. He is a fun, exciting wide receiver if you've not seen him play. C.J. Baxter, a running back from Texas. We've got 2 more picks here in the 3rd round. C.J. Baxter, blew his knee out last year, unfortunately, but he was a high recruit coming out of high school. We're hoping here by this selection that his knee is recovered and he gets that form back of being able to laterally move around and do what he needs to do to be one of the elite backs in college football. He had the pedigree coming out of high school, so I respect the pick here, hoping he bounces back from a knee injury and is as good as he was beforehand. And Tavian St. Clair is going to round out this draft, all right? Again, 2028, he's an incoming freshman, going to go to Ohio State, most likely going to sit on the bench and watch Julian Sain go to work. But nonetheless, quarterbacks rule in Dynasty, man. You got to have some good ones to win. So people are going to be taking shots here, even though you've got to wait 3 years. All right, like I said at the beginning of this show, guys, this was a 10-round draft. All right, so we go deep on these things, which is great because it introduces you to future classes and it gives you an early look at these players, right? And that's an advantage in Dynasty, right? Instead of just going to your rookie draft and you start scouting now because your rookie draft's in 2 months, which is nice. When you play Devy, you get to really watch these players and kind of get more familiar with the names. And if that is something that is of interest to you, seriously, check out my NFL Draft Big Board subscription. It's made for Devy. It's really how I even started all of this, was playing Devy to scout these players to help you with your rookie drafts. Check out the website that you see on the screen, and I will have I'll have all 10 rounds posted there for you to go to take a look at. All I ask in return is give me a subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 17,000 views by the NFL draft. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't want to be long-winded. I want to get you in and get out. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't play Dynasty, or if you play Dynasty and you don't play Devy and this is somewhat of an interest, check it out. I think you're going to like it. Thanks for watching.